Hello, this video we're going to be talking about the foundation of B2B as well as the selling technique in B2B. When we talk about B2B, we're talking about the business that's selling to a business client or selling to a business buyer. So another word, business selling to another business. The challenge in B2B selling is that technically this one is both challenge in B2B selling and B2C is that the seller need to be able to keep up with the change, the technology change, adopt the new change and that type of thing. So adopt to the new technology, adopt to the new skill. By doing so, if we can adopt to the new skill and technology, then we can be the market leader of something, because when we can adopt the new technology and new skill, for example, if there is a new technology in terms of like selling on mobile platform, and if we can be one of the very first one who adopt those, we will get the advantage of the first mover. And second one is that in B2B specifically, the seller need to be able to create networking, need to be able to create trust among the key clients. This way, because the networking that the seller could create will link to the more trust that the buyer will have towards the seller. And then the more trust will link to the commitment, and then it's will link to the more frequency of buyer, and then it's will link to that the seller will receive more money and incentive in that case. All right, so that is the different, is a challenge in B2B. Now we're gonna have a look at the difference between B2B and B2C. So here are some of the differences. So the differences, the first one is that in B2C, there will be a lot more buyer, but in B2B there will be less buyer. However, there might be buy more in bulk, so they buy a lot, like business supplier buy a lot. Also, two, seller or selling. Selling can take long time. It can be like 6 months, it can be years for some product in B2B. The reason being, for example, let's say if you do like an airport, an airport, and then if you operate an airport will let airline come and rent the space, rent the runway, and rent the gate like that, and this could become like months or year. So yeah, or let's say if your business producing something and you're buying a core product from a specific service provider, then you might be keeping by that product for years or even lifetime of your company. I already mentioned about less buyer when compared to B2C. Fourth one is long-term relationship, and sometimes long-term relationship lead to more benefit as well, because you will in B2B you will build personal benefit. You will go have lunch, dinner together. You might receive more incentive if you continue going with the same company. Okay. Fifth one, in B2B there might be more special. How do I put? There might be more special requests. For example, the company might say, "Oh, can we pay 2 months late? Or can I get this product delivery today? Or can you customize the product in a way that I want?" Okay, that's one. And next one, number 6, and lastly, it is a little bit more risky when you sell to B2B. The reason being is that, let's say, just imagine if we are selling concrete, or if we are selling wood or something to a construction site or construction company. Normally construction take years to finish, right? So sometimes we might we know that they will order the product from us frequently every month or every days or every week. So we will prepare some of our product. But what happens if those company bankrupts or never continue their project? So there's a risk that our client will be bankrupt, and then they're not going to pay us the money. Normally in B2B, when we sell someone something, they will not pay the full amount right then or right there. Normally they will wait until the last day of the agreement before they make the payment, because in business, the more they can hold to their capital, which is money in this case, the more benefit they can make out of it, at least bank loan, bank interest, or something like that. All right. Moving on, we will have a look at the 3 elements of the B2B. First one, we will look at the structure or the who. So basically, when we talk about the who, we had to think in terms of the decision maker, right? The who is that who will be the one who make the decision. Like, for example, who will be the one who made the decision in this sale? Let's say if we talk to, and let's say if we gonna sell a product to a company, right? We need to understand who will be the one who make the decision. Is it a middle manager or top manager, or what is their objective? For example, the user objective might be like they want the best performance, but the designer objective, they might need to care about the budgeting and that type of thing. So the one who pay the money might care more about financial, budget and that type. Then we're looking at the how factor. So the how factor basically is mean the pattern of the information received, analyze, and evaluate. All right. Next one, the what factor is mean what are some of the criteria or the factor that they use to make the decision. What are some of the factors that affect the decision? Again, this link back to the one who made the decision. What are their objectives? User will concern more about the performance of the product. Finance department will concern more about the budget. All right. Moving on to the organizational buyer behavior structure. Do you still remember the first one that we will talk about is the role in the buying decision making? This one is the same one to the customer one, the role in the consumer decision, the role in the usage. So basically, there are 6 roles in total in the B2B. There are initiator, there are user, there are influencer, decider, buyer, and gatekeeper. So the initiator are those who saying that, okay, look, we need to buy this product because of so and so. The user are the one who actually use the product, be like us who use the product. Influencer could be like the one who influence, like, why don't we buy this one? Why don't we buy this one? Normally in B2B, we will have a preferred brand, like say Dell or Apple tend to be preferred brand. Dell, Apple, HP tend to be preferred brand for computer for most organization. Decider, the one who make the decision, will be your boss, department boss. The buyer, the one who made the purchase, tend to be the HR or IT. Gatekeeper are those who control some type of information that no one else knows. Could be the budget, could be the objective. This could be like the HR department that they control some of the information that we do not know. Okay, HR, finance, IT, or manager would be the gatekeeper, depending to the organization. Right. Moving on through our, we already have a chat about this. Moving on to the deadly sin in the organization. So the first one, basically, we work in a comfort zone. What does it mean is that this is where when we spend too much time with people that they like and feel, or they like to be in a comfortable zone. So basically they don't want to do anything new, they don't want to learn something new, they don't want to go out and get a new client. So this could be where like we stay in a comfort zone, so don't want to do something differently, put it this way. So basically this is just like before, but too much of just like before, so we don't do something differently. Next one, number 2 is that we spend too much time on someone who cannot say yes, or someone who do not have the authority to say yes. So for example, if we look in terms of buyer, if we're gonna make a connection, if we're gonna make friends in B2B, we should make a friend with the buyer, the client who can make the decision on his own, or who have enough power to make the decision. There's no point to make there's less point to make a good connection with a very junior seller who cannot make any decision, because he need to go and talk to his boss before they can make this decision. So therefore, if you have the right connection, then you might be able to negotiate things or do things easier. All right, so this is what is meant. Now, this process, organizational buying behavior process, is actually quite similar to the consumer decision making process. All right, just a few things add into this. Let's have a look. What are they? So first one, need and problem recognition, is the same thing. So when they identify, when they identify that there is a problem. Second one, find out what we need. So we need to find out quality, how much do we need? Do we need any specialization, like any specific information that we need, for our particular purchase? Like sometimes we might prefer a particular supplier, we might prefer a particular set of product. Okay. Third one, search for a potential source or supplier. search for the supplier basically. Fourth, analyze the potential from supplier, because we will look for a few supplier. Normally in B2B, at least we look at for 3 supplier. We will get 3 proposals from 3 supplier and we see which one have the overall best value to us. Then we will make the purchase, and that is a 5th one. So evaluate and select the supplier. The 6th one is selection of order routine. Basically, how do we want to pay? We will also looking at the payment option and deliver option. So can they give us 5 months before we make the payment, or we have to make the payment right away? So how does it work? And then the 7th, we purchase and make a payment. Number 8, we get the feedback and evaluate for the next payment, for the next purchase. All right. Moving on, here is some of the criteria that we make in B2B. They break into 2 sections though. We break into, first one is economic and second one is emotion. Economic is more rational, emotion is more politic, if you want it that way. So economic, how do we choose which supplier should we go with? First one, price of the product. So tend to go with the cheapest one. Deliver process. So we tend to go with the one that can deliver at the time that we want, or willing to meet our need in terms of the deliver process, because sometimes we might say, oh, we want it now, we want it tomorrow, or something like that. Cost productivity. So how much is it cost to purchase the product, overall cost of this purchase. Like sometimes the price might be cheap, but the seller might say, okay, we have to go and get the product by ourselves, so we might have to pay for the petrol and it's not enough. Sometimes we need to look at the reliability. So if it sells some product that is like very important, like security, or let's say like Boeing, like plane, that type of thing. So we need to have a very high level of reliability. Duration, how long does their product last? Or how long does the software last? If we need to buy like new software, is it last for a year? Is it last 6 months? Or how long does it last? Is it upgradable? Normally in business, we tend to buy a product that is upgradable every 5 years, because if we buy like IT product every 5 years, it will be considered as $0, and we tend to try to upgrade it. Also, is there any assistant? If we need a special training, can they do it for us? And also, lastly, we look at the overall safety of the product. All right. So these are the economic perspective. Now let's have a look at the political side or the emotional. First one, personal risk deduction. So basically, it means benefit. If we change the supplier, do me as a seller or the negotiator, do I lose any benefit or not? Because sometimes if you go with the same seller, the seller might say, okay, if you buy from us, I will pay you 1% of it, something like that, So basically conflict of interest. Is there any politics in the office? So it could be that right now I'm purchasing a product from my dad company or from my friend's company, where I somewhat get the money. Then we have this thing called convenient. Is it like we may not know the service provider personally, but we might be lazy to change or search for a new client. So this one called comfort zone. So we just go with the convenient one. And lastly, personal link, like the one that we mentioned earlier on. So these are some of the politics that we may have for the choice criteria in B2B. All right. Now move on to the next one, which is quite important as well. So now we're going to talk about seller influence tactic. So seller influence tactic when we buying a product in B2B. First one is the information exchange. Okay, so information exchange, so basically ask question without making any specific recommendation to influence the buyer perception about the benefit of the offer. So basically we're trying to from the buyer perspective, we're trying to, from both buyer and seller perspective, we need to try to find out the opposite side objective. For example, the seller might have their own set of objectives on how much they have to buy and what is their maximum or minimum budget. Obviously, we want to sell them something, but we want to get the maximum benefit out of it. And that is the same to the buyer as well. So what do they want and why do they want and how much do they need? and how much they really need to buy from us. So if they really need to buy from us and they have no other choice, then we know that we have more buying power. So that's what is meant, all right? So that is an information exchange. So what and why the consumer needs. Next one, we have the recommendation. So this recommendation, is more like a convincing skill. So with this recommendation skills mean we try to recommend the customer to buy a product, because if they buy this particular product, we say, okay, this product have benefits so and so and so, and if you buy it, it will be benefit to your company because of so and so and so. So basically trying to recommend the benefit of our product. Now the third one is threat or fear factor. Another word is power of fear. So let's say the seller might be saying that the sale will end soon. If you not buy it, you run out of it. This deal will last just a day, or I will give you this deal special for you if you buy it today. If you not buy the product today, we will not give this deal to you. Something like that, all right? Number 4 is like promise. So basically say if you buy from me, I will give you some incentive. I will give you some reward. I will take you to a nice dinner. I will give you some percentage, like a politic type of, promise. That could be that. Number 5, sweet talk. So try to say, oh, I love your bag. You are so good. Basically try to create networking and relationship with them. Try to, say something positive about our client or about the buyer. So try to say like, you could link to the previous purchase saying, oh, the previous purchase was so good. The product, quality was so good. Thank you so much. We love it so much. Or say to, their personal look. Oh, I love your hair, that type of thing. So basically trying to make the buyer or the seller like you. So when you negotiate, it makes life easier. Lastly, inspirational appeal. So basically, inspirational appeal. So basically, you're trying to appeal to be like full of motivation, full of power. So you're trying to showing that, look, I really need to buy this product because of so and so. I really need to buy this product because I love the quality of it, and it will really make a difference to our career, to my career, and that type of thing. So these are some of the suggestions. These are some of the selling techniques that you could use in B2B. Of course, these are the on top of what we already discussed about what you could use in B2C, all right? And this is the conclusion of this video. Thank you.